How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another day of 7th grade math. This is Mr. Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world. And today, we're gonna know how to add and subtract fractions. Okay, so when adding or subtracting fractions, there's one thing that we need to have in order to proceed. And that thing is a common denominator. Preferably the LCD. Does anybody remember what LCD stands for? Least common denominator. Very good. So in this example right here, I have two fractions. However, they do not have the same denominator. Now, I know sometimes finding the least common denominator can be difficult in this grade level. So I'm just gonna help you find any common denominator. Two different ways. So the first thing that you gotta do, I want you to take this whole fractions and multiply it by the opposite denominator. So I'm gonna multiply this whole thing by 5. And then we're gonna take this whole fraction and multiply by the opposite denominator. And we're gonna get our new equivalent fractions. So when I write this on the side, we're gonna take out this fraction first. What is 5 times 1? 5. And 5 times 3 is 15. Bring this over here and then do the other fraction. Now, instead of multiplying by 5, we're gonna multiply by, instead of multiplying by 5, we're gonna multiply by 3. So what is 3 times 2? 6. So you put that on the denominator. And 3 times 5 is 15. Now we have a common denominator, which in this case works out to be the least common denominator as well. So again, this will give you a common denominator all the time. But if it's not the least common denominator, at the end you will have an extra step. Now that we have the least common denominator, we can go ahead and add. The denominator stays the same. You don't do anything with that. Either add or subtract, whatever the case may be. And then just add the top. 5 plus 6 is 11. And this is the final answer because I cannot simplify that. However, if this was not the least common denominator, the next step would be to simplify the answer to the lowest, to the simplest form. Any questions so far? Now, I'm gonna take the same fraction and work in it a little different. This is a method that was presented to me by one of my previous students a few years ago. So I'm gonna have 1/3 plus 2/5. Same fractions, okay? Now, just for the sake of it, instead of adding, no, let's keep it as adding. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to get the same answer in a different way. It can be done faster once you learn the process. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take these two numbers and we're gonna multiply them. We're gonna take these two numbers and we're gonna multiply them. What is 1 times 5? 5. You're gonna put it right here. Look, I'm color coding. This is pink. Then I'm gonna take these two numbers and I'm gonna multiply as well. What's 3 times 2? 6. Now, since this is addition, I'm just gonna bring this over here. We're still adding. Okay? Now, I'm gonna take these two, that's a different color, and I'm gonna multiply them. What's 3 times 5? 15. Now, all we gotta do is add the top. What is 5 plus 6? 11. And the bottom is 15. And did I get the same answer as before? I did. So I think this is a pretty neat and fast way to do it. If you want to learn it, again, cross multiply. Start with the left and you put it first. Then multiply the other one. Put it next. Bring the sign along. Then multiply the bottom, put it on the bottom, and then you can just add the top, and that's it. I hope that you learned something today. There's two different methods. This one works all the time. This one also works all the time, but both of them might not always give you the least common denominator. At the end of the day, you always have to look for the simplest form. And other than that, that's going to be it. I hope that you learned something today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, please subscribe and turn the notification bell on. Other than that, that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget to watch other videos. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's ride. Goodbye.